quiet FRONTIEN frontier outpost was quiet, almost too quiet. It rested at the edge of known space, far from the great cities of Earth and its core colonies. The station was called Outpost Haven 17, a small name for a place that mattered more than most people realized. Haven 17 was not a war base. It was built for research, supply storage, and long-range observation. A few hundred humans lived there, engineers, scientists, and security teams. They worked, slept, and laughed under artificial lights. Believing the frontier was calm, Commander Elias Rowan stood near the wide observation window. Beyond the glass, stars burned softly in the dark. He had spent 20 years in space, and this outpost felt peaceful, maybe too peaceful. His instincts told him that silence often came before disaster. Any unusual readings? Rowan asked. Lieutenant Mara Chun checked the sensors. No, sir. Long-range scans are clear. No ships, no signals. Rowan nodded, but his eyes stayed on the stars. Humanity had learned a hard lesson long ago. Space was not empty. It was watching. Far away, beyond the sensor range of Haven 17, something moved. An ancient alien empire observed the outpost from the shadows. They had ruled nearby systems for centuries. Many species feared them. When the Empire's scouts discovered Haven 17, they were confused. The outpost was small, lightly defended. No war fleet. To the Empire, it looked weak. The Empire's leaders discussed the humans with cold voices. Minor species, one of them said. New to this region, said another. They build too close to our space, the High Admiral decided. There was no vote. There was no warning. The order was given. At Haven 17, alarms screamed through the station. Red lights flashed in every corridor. Multiple contacts. Chun shouted. They just appeared out of nowhere. Rowan's heart dropped. Enemy ships filled the screens, dark and massive, their weapons already charging. All units to defense positions. Rowan commanded. Raise shields now. The first shots hit before the shields fully formed. The station shook. Metal screamed. People were thrown to the floor. Explosions tore through the outer ring. Power failed in several sections. Emergency lights flickered on. They're targeting our communication towers. Chun yelled. Rowan knew what that meant. Isolation. Death. Open a priority channel, Rowan said. Send a distress signal to all human colonies. The signal struggled through heavy interference. Enemy fire grew stronger. One tower collapsed into space, spinning away like broken glass. Engineers ran through smoke-filled halls. Security teams returned fire, knowing it was useless against warships. Rowan reached the command console. Blood ran down his forehead, but he stayed standing. Signal sent, Chun said, her voice shaking. But it's weak. I don't know who will receive it. Rowan leaned closer to the transmitter. He spoke slowly and clearly. This is Commander Elias Rowan of Haven 17. We are under attack by an unknown empire. Our defenses are failing. If anyone hears this, a massive explosion cut power again. The room went dark. Emergency systems came online seconds later. Chun looked at the console in fear. The message? It was cut short. Rowan stared at the blinking indicator. No, he said quietly. It got through. Outside, the Empire's ships continued their assault. They believed the outpost was finished. They believed Haven 17 was alone. Far across the stars, deep within human-controlled space, a distant sister colony received a broken signal. Static filled the room. Then a voice. Under attack? The room went silent, and somewhere in the dark, humanity began to wake up. The alien empire watched the burning remains of Haven 17 from a safe distance. Broken metal drifted through space. Small fires still glowed inside the ruined outpost. To the Empire, the battle was already over. Their command ship floated calmly as officers reviewed the damage reports. No active weapons, one officer said. No outgoing signals detected, another added. The High Admiral turned away from the screen. Good, he said. Erase the records. The humans will learn their place. The Empire believed strength meant dominance. They had crushed weaker species many times before. Cities burned. Colonies vanished. No one had ever answered back. To them, Haven 17 was just another lesson. The Empire's fleet began to move away, slow and confident. They did not search for survivors. They did not scan for hidden signals. That was their first mistake. Inside the shattered remains of Haven 17, a few humans still lived. Deep below the main structure, emergency bunkers had sealed in time. Captain Lena Ortiz sat against a cracked wall, breathing hard. The lights were weak. The air was thin. Around her, wounded crew members waited in silence. They think we're dead, a soldier whispered. Ortiz looked at the broken ceiling above them. Let them think that, she said. As long as the message went out. No one knew for sure. But hope was enough. Far away, in the heart of the alien empire, celebration filled the halls. News spread quickly. Human frontier destroyed. Empire secures its borders. Minor species eliminated. The Empire's citizens cheered. To them, humans were nothing more than a small noise in the dark. But the Empire did not understand humanity. They did not understand that humans, never built alone. Every colony had a sister. Every outpost had support. Every frontier had a promise. In a distant system, hidden behind powerful defense grids, the sister colony of Haven 17 received the signal. It arrived broken, weak, almost lost. Admiral Thomas Halla stood in the command room as the transmission played again. Static filled the air. Then a familiar voice. This is Commander Elias Rowan. Under attack? The signal ended. The room was silent. No one shouted. No one panicked. Halle slowly closed his eyes. How long ago? He asked. 3 hours, an officer replied. Signal origin confirmed. Haven 17. Halle opened his eyes. They were calm. But something cold burned behind them. Status of the outpost? He asked. No response, the officer said. Long-range scans show heavy damage. Halle nodded once. Then we assume the worst. Across the room, fleet commanders waited. They already knew what was coming. Human doctrine was clear. They did not strike first. But if attacked, they responded together. Prepare the fleet, Halle ordered. Full combat readiness. No broadcasts. No warnings. One officer hesitated. Sir, this is an Empire-level force. Halle looked at him. So was every enemy before this. In another part of the colony, factories came alive. Shipyards powered up. Weapon systems unlocked after decades of silence. The humans did not shout revenge. They did not speak of hate. They spoke of duty. Back in the Empire's territory, the alien fleet continued its patrols. They felt safe. They felt untouchable. They did not see the data spike at the edge of space. They did not notice the quiet movement beyond their sensors. Empire believed the frontier was silent. They did not know it was listening, and they did not know that their attack had just awakened something far more dangerous than a single outpost. The sister colony of Haven 17 was called Aegis Prime. Unlike the small frontier outpost, Aegis Prime was powerful, quiet, and ready. From the outside, it looked peaceful. Cities glowed under protective shields. Trade ships moved slowly through space. Life continued as normal. Inside the command citadel, everything had changed. Admiral Thomas Hawley stood at the center of the war room. A large hologram of Haven 17 rotated slowly in front of him. Most of it was dark, broken, silent. They attacked without warning, an intelligence officer said. No demands. No contact. Hawley said nothing. His hands were clasped behind his back. His face was calm, but the room felt heavy. Humans had learned long ago that anger clouded judgment. They did not scream. They prepared. Confirm the enemy, Hawley said. Alien Empire. Designation unknown. Large fleet. Advanced weapons, the officer replied. They believed the outpost was alone. A quiet murmur moved through the room. Hawley turned to face his commanders. They were wrong. He stepped forward. Haven 17 was not just an outpost, he said. It was family. No one argued. Every person in the room understood. Aegis Prime was built for moments like this. Its shipyards were hidden beneath armored space docks. Massive warships slept there, powered down. Waiting. Hawley gave a single nod. Activate Defense Protocol Iron Promise, he ordered. The room changed instantly. Lights shifted from blue to red. Holograms expanded, showing fleets, jump routes, and enemy space. Across the colony, deep systems awakened. Engines hummed. Reactors ignited. Weapon locks disengaged. Human ships began to rise from their docks, silent and controlled. No victory songs played. No speeches were broadcast. This was not a parade. This was a response. In the training halls, soldiers moved with calm focus. Armor locked into place. Weapons were checked once, then twice. A young pilot looked at her commander. Sir, she asked quietly, are we going to war? The commander met her eyes. We are going to protect our people. That was enough. Back in the war room, Hawley watched the fleet assemble. Dozens of ships became hundreds. Then more. Each one carried the mark of humanity, not as conquerors, but as defenders. Fleet status? Hawley asked. Ready, came the answer. All units standing by. Hawley took a deep breath. Then he spoke, his voice steady. We did not choose this fight, he said. But we will finish it. He turned to the communications officer. Send a priority message to all sister colonies. The message was short. One colony attacked. All colonies respond. Across human space, other fleets began to move. Meanwhile, deep inside the alien empire's territory, their leaders rested easy. They reviewed trade routes, planned expansions, spoke of dominance. They had no idea what was coming. At the edge of their space, reality bent. Human ships entered jump formation. Space folded. Light twisted. Admiral Hawley gave the final order. Jump. The fleet vanished into the dark. The sister colony had awakened. And the Empire was about to learn a lesson the galaxy would never forget. The alien empire did not see the human fleet arrive. One moment, their border system was calm. The next, space itself cracked open. Dozens of human warships appeared without warning. Then hundreds. Sensors across the system screamed. Alarms echoed through alien command stations. What is that? An officer shouted. These ships were not detected. The High Admiral rushed to the command screen. His confidence vanished. This is impossible, he said. Humans do not have this kind of force. But the screens did not lie. The human fleet moved with perfect order. No chaos. No hesitation. At the center of the formation, the human flagship advanced slowly. Admiral Thomas Hawley stood on its bridge. His eyes were fixed on the enemy fleet ahead. Target military assets only, he ordered. No civilian structures. No retreat. The order spread instantly. Human ships accelerated. The first strike came without words. Precision weapons fired in perfect waves. Alien defense platforms vanished in seconds. Shield generators failed one after another. The Empire tried to respond. Their ships turned. Weapons charged. Commands were shouted. It was too late. Human tactics were fast and brutal. They did not waste shots. They did not chase fleeing ships. They cut the Empire's fleet apart. Explosions lit the system like dying stars. Massive alien warships broke in half. Debris filled space. An alien commander shouted in fear. They are targeting our shipyards. Human strike groups split off. They moved straight toward the Empire's military centers. Shipyards burned. Supply depots collapsed. Command relays went silent. The Empire's power, built over centuries, fell in minutes. On the human flagship, an officer turned to Holly. "Enemy fleet is collapsing, sir." Holly nodded. "Continue." Across the system, alien crews abandoned their posts. Some tried to flee. Some tried to surrender. The humans ignored panic. They followed their mission. Then the Empire understood. This was not conquest. This was punishment. A final message broke through the chaos. The human flagship broadcast on all channels. "This is Admiral Thomas Hawley of the United Human Colonies," the message said. "You attacked a human outpost without warning." The alien High Admiral listened in silence. "We did not come for your worlds," Hawley continued. "We came for your weapons." Human fire intensified. The Empire's final defense line shattered. The High Admiral sank into his command chair. Fear replaced pride. "They are not stopping," he whispered. "No," an officer replied. "They are teaching." Hours later, the system was silent. What remained of the Empire's fleet drifted powerless through space. Their shipyards were ruins. Their defenses gone. The human fleet did not stay. They did not claim territory. They did not raise flags. They turned away. Before leaving, one last message was sent, not just to the Empire, but to the entire galaxy. "Humanity does not seek war," Hawley said. "But humanity will always answer." The fleet jumped out of the system. In the darkness they left behind, the alien Empire began to understand its mistake. They had attacked the frontier. They had believed it was weak. They had believed it was alone. They were wrong. And the galaxy was watching. The alien Empire was silent. What once had been a symbol of power was now broken. Their fleets were gone. Their shipyards were destroyed. Their borders stood open and UNDEFENDED. Inside the Empire's capital world, the leaders gathered in fear. No one spoke of victory anymore. No one spoke of dominance. They spoke of survival. The High Admiral stood before the council, his voice low and tired. "We underestimated humanity," he said. "We believed their frontier was weak." He looked around the room. They were not weak. They were patient. A surrender signal was prepared. It was sent on every known frequency. On the human flagship, Admiral Thomas Hawley watched the message arrive. He did not smile. There was no joy in his eyes. "Open the channel," he said. The alien leaders appeared on the screen. Their posture was different now. Gone was pride. Only fear remained. "We surrender," the High Admiral said. "We ask for mercy." Hawley listened quietly. "You attacked a human outpost," Hawley replied. "A place with families, workers, and defenders." He paused. "You did not ask who stood with them." The alien leaders lowered their heads. "We will not destroy your worlds," Hawley continued. "We will not rule your people." Relief spread across the alien faces. "But understand this," Hawley said firmly. "This mercy is your final lesson." He leaned forward. "Attack one human colony," he said, "and all of humanity will answer." The transmission ended. The human fleet turned back. Toward friendly space. They passed through the ruins of Haven 17. Rescue ships moved carefully through the debris. Survivors were found. Wounded were treated. The dead were honored. Captain Lena Ortiz stood among the wreckage. She watched a new station frame being assembled nearby. "They're rebuilding," a soldier said. Ortiz nodded. "We always do." Across human space, news spread quickly. The story of Haven 17 became legend, not as a tragedy, but as a warning. Other species listened. Empires paused their expansion. Warlords reconsidered their plans. The galaxy learned something important. Humanity did not rush into war. Humanity did not threaten without reason, but humanity never stood alone. On Aegis Prime, Admiral Hale looked out at the stars once more. The fleet had returned. The danger had passed. For now. An officer approached him. "Sir," she said, "the galaxy is changing its tone. They are watching us differently." Hale nodded slowly. "That is fine," he replied. "We do not need fear." He looked into the darkness. "We need respect." Far away, at the edge of space, a new outpost light turned on, stronger, better defended. Connected. The frontier was quiet again, but this time, the galaxy understood the silence. It was not weakness. It was a promise, and no one would forget the day. Humanity answered in fire.